We're the best schools in all of Rochester. Well, let's find out. What's up guys, Gagan here, your favorite Rochester real estate agent, and according to niche.com, there's definitely a few specific schools and specific school districts that are well known as the best of the best in Rochester. Now, these aren't my opinions, they're the opinions of websites, and I'm simply reverberating them to make sure that we all have all the information in one place. With that being said, let's get over to my Loom video so we can check all these out together and we can make sure that we understand, hey, that specifically school district is where I want my kids to go, and hey, this one might not be the right fit for us. Before we get there, again, I want to let you guys know we are licensed real estate professionals in the great state of New York. Would love the opportunity to collaborate, work together, and help you in your home buying and selling journey. If you have any questions, some information, you know where you want to live, you don't know where you want to live, all of our information is going to be linked down below. I'm looking forward to chatting with you soon. Let's get to niche.com now. Hey, real quick, if you like this kind of content, we send out to all of our private clients what we call the Rochester Report, which is how we help them win in today's market. If you want that for yourself, just go to therochesterreport.com, or I'll put the link in the description. Sign up, it's totally free, completely free, and then you can get all the information that we send to our private clients as well. Okay, back to the video. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's take a look at 2024's best schools in the Rochester area. Now, again, I want to preface this by saying we're looking at private, public schools, the whole shebang, trying to figure out what the best educational facilitation for you and your kids are. And we're going to take a look at all of these homes right away. With that being said, the first one really doesn't come as a surprise to me, is the best private school, which is the Harley School. There is a ton of things going on here, right? So first and foremost, this school is ranked as an A+ all over, but the thing I wanted to show you is this. It's ranked 45th of 280 as the best college prep school in all of New York. 45 as the best private K through 12 in all of New York, and 64 as the best private high school in all of New York. If you want me to look at all these in specific details, we obviously can, but talking about a few things about the school itself. This is located more in the Brighton, Pittsford area, which we'll look at here, and it is a private school as well. So with that being said, a few things, right? Number one, it's got fantastic academics, great schools, great teachers, great college prep, great diversity, and good sports. You know what's funny is we actually competed against Harley. I went to McQuaid myself. We actually competed against Harley in speech and debate tournaments all across. So they're good though, they're fun. Tuition, obviously this is going to be a pretty hefty price of $31,000. But with that being said, most kids do get scholarships and financial aid, and that included ourselves, right? My tuition in McQuaid when I went was about $15,000, and we didn't pay that. I can not the number, but we did not pay that. Only we just couldn't afford it at that time. So yeah, it's a hefty price, but there's always going to be financial aid, especially when you go to how to apply. That's that. A few things the school really is known for is more than anything else, they're known as a hub, right? When you're going here, you have every single facility, just K through 12, you know it's going to be really good. You have 100% graduation rate. I mean, that says something. An SAT score of 1320 and an ACT score of 30. All of these numbers themselves, obviously, there's millions of that, right? You can't compare a hippo and a monkey on a tree. So the nice thing about these guys, they do have a lot of diversity, and it's not just academics, it's also culture and safety and things of that nature. Right here, right, we offer classes, projects from micro farms to living buildings. They get hands-on experience, which I think is really, really important. Obviously, the safety here is really important as well. Schools, there's a 407 schools as it is. Most kids agree that's a really good school. Preschool, 20 grants, 60 ratio, which is really, really good. When you look at most, nationally perfect. When you look at that stuff, right, this says a lot more about this person. Maybe it says a lot about our private school, our public schools as well. But with that being said, let's take a look at the map. I don't want to get too far. As said before, it's right next to Brighton. The thing that a lot of Harley kids do, well, if they're part of it, they go to Allendale Country Club, and more than that, what they do is they go to 12 Corners, which is just right around here. Yep. It's called 12 Corners because, well, there's all 12 corners, and kids from Brighton, kids from Harley, kids from Allendale, kids from McQuaid, all just swing by here and just live right there. Right? And they just hang out, do homework, get some coffee, things of that nature, get some Starbucks. So, really good place, especially when you have children, you know that they're going to be obviously kids as well. Homes for sale in the neighborhood. You know what's really funny is I saw this one and I still wanted to post this clip just because this is so abstract and avant-garde compared to everything else. You got 200,000, 300,000, 225, 1.2 freaking million dollars. Kind of crazy. It makes me laugh. Obviously, plus the cultural rating, you got living in the area, which I think is really important because most people do that. Go to Harley, they live in Brighton. It's got a really good high score, right? When you're looking at home value, you can see it's 30. We actually spoke about Brighton. Put it in the description below about living here and what makes it so unique and so prosperous and awesome. But with that being said, you've got some reviews, and let's look at these reviews. Let's actually look at these reviews so we can, I guess, get a better understanding of everything. I think that's really important. Let's see, read more reviews. Oh, dang it. Okay, whatever. So for the first three, as a parent, best decision they've ever made, 5 out of 5. Harley is amazing. Students accept one another with open arms. I transferred to Harley grade and Harley sophomore. I love my 2 years. That's excellent. It's a bit terrible. It's only 3 people that said it was terrible, which is interesting. So yeah, that's that. But I'm not going to make it count just to, I guess, shit on Harley. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be Brighton High School. It's the best public high school. And this really did surprise me a little bit because I figured Pittsford-Mendon would be up here if we got this data. But Brighton outpaces them, which is interesting. Let's take a look at Brighton High School. A+ rating. Again, you've got Harley right there and you've got A+ ratings. It's got 1,200 students, 12:1 student-to-teacher ratio. Test score is super high. 36th ranked 36th best public school in New York. 53 is the best college prep, the best in terms of STEM. 92% proficiency rating. Really high SATs and ACTs. You guys, the national average for these numbers are around 900. I think they're diminishing a bit out there. These numbers are incredibly high. The SATs are 1,600 that's 46. This is 10 15% down. So they're getting that's smart right there. This is the map of the actual place. When you look at it, right, you got the school here, and then you got 12 corners there. Harley's over there, which is interesting. It's over here. Yep. So in terms of proximity to places, I mean, you guys aren't too far off. This area here, like from Pittsburgh, this to Outerport, to this side of the river, is really good. Education and school and things like that. Homes for sale, they're living right in. We already saw this. Safety is really massive, really important factor. 12:1 student-to-teacher ratio, and the one thing that we do hear a lot about Brighton is the diversity, right? They tend to have people from all over. It's not just one specific demographic. It's not just one specific kind of people. You get a microcosm, right? And obviously that means there's going to be some bad apples as well. It is a public school, but with that being said, there's also a lot more options to obviously have a cheaper cost of education compared to Harley. So let's look at the other one, and I wanted to show Pittsford-Mendon because Pittsford-Mendon was ranked as one of the best schools in the entire nation. So it's really, really good. So let's take a look at this here. A little bit. Pittsford-Mendon High School, number 1 for high school STEM in Rochester area. Overall rating A+, 11:1 student-to-teacher ratio. Here we go. So it's 16th as the best high school in New York for athletics, 46 as the best public school in New York, and 54 for college prep, which is really, really good. I'm actually kind of curious about other these numbers here. Staten Island, Bronx, Thompson, early college bar. That's interesting. All of these are in New York City, which is cool. But with that being said, obviously the map in terms of where this is really important as well. You've got Pittsburgh here, and then as we scroll up, this is Brighton, right? So the Brighton school, Brighton, everything is going to be here, like that's the first one. right there that we looked at. So Pittsford is a little bit of a drive away, but it's not too far. It's about 15 minutes. And in comparison to Brighton, which here's you get the Powder Mill. We've talked about this in previous videos as well, guys. But you get Powder Mill here. You got the school here. You got, there's a home for sale right there. You can literally walk. It's only like a 2-minute walk. So the nice thing about this place is it does have a really high turnaround rate, meaning that people that are living there after their kids graduate, they just go somewhere else. They buy a house somewhere else. And the home prices, which is average, we looked at all these homes too, if I'm not mistaken. It definitely is a lot higher than other places. But hey, that's Pittsford for you, right? You have a really low crime rate. You have a very good community, and I think that's what makes it that separating factor. 100% of students feel like they're safe at school, and that says a lot, right? Like in terms of the numbers that we're seeing at other places, especially Rochester City students, I think the last time that we saw the numbers is like 30 or 40%. Which is insanely low. 900 students holistically, 11 to student ratio. Diversity is B, which isn't terrible. It's also not the best. Obviously, we work on that a little bit. You got clubs and activities. If kids are in clubs, if kids are in activities, $20,000 for a lot of things to pay for. Obviously, material, you've got all those things there, right? In terms of reviews, this was a funny one. Not a funny one, but interesting one I saw here. I did not feel my needs were met by the school administration. I often felt ignored and condescended to. However, I am having an amazing experience in my music department. So, what's interesting is there's a joke that says bureaucracy is always a reason why people get low ratings, and it kind of seems to be the reason here as well. And the second thing that I wanted to show is there's no zeros. Not a single person has ever rated the school 0. That says a lot. But let's look at school number 3 here, number 4, excuse me. And then we're gonna look at this one here as well. And that's gonna be our last one for the day because there's a lot of schools that are right. Jefferson is really good. Jefferson is about 5 minutes away from my person live. Allen's Creek is really good. Calkins is really good. McQuaid is really good. In fact, I do want to look at McQuaid simply because I have an emotional attachment to them. So this is just my emotional attachment. Obviously, do what you will with it. McQuaid Jesuit, I went there. It's got an A overall rating. It has 761 kids, and 88% of students go to independent college. Tuition is $13,000. A lot of money, but also 1/3 of the cost of Harvard. So that's that too. $13,000. That's about what I paid. It's ranked 10 out of 1,400 schools. Best number. 11 out of all the best high schools just from that. Now, this is important. This is an all-boys school. Mercy is an all-girls school. But this is the #1 best Catholic high school in all of Rochester as well, right? So that's that. Average SAT score, 1290, 29 with the ACT, and I'm going to put this. Average incomes of the entire country is like 800. 93% of kids feel like they're safe. I can talk about this a little bit. I think just anecdotes is because we're very close. Like, this is McQuaid. And Lockdeville, there's a lot of things here. There's a bank right next by it. There's quick clips, there's cops. Things to get robbed, essentially. And we've never had that before. I've never experienced any of that when I went to McQuaid. But there was a situation once where some guy was robbing him at the bank. And, they were essentially like, hey, it's nothing serious, but we're just going to close up the windows and lock the doors. And in terms of safety, that's as unsafe as I ever felt. So that's that as well. I should be getting a referral fee for all the people I'm referring over. But no, with that being said, let's also go back and look at all these things as well. Simba Society is really good. Festival of the Lint Meats. I could talk about that because this used to be called Sausage Fest, and obviously that has its own connotation. It has its own verbiage. It has its own, double entendre. Hence why this shifting of the rhetoric. With that being said, I do want to point this. This was for boys, who were trained men from 9 to 12th grade. I don't think Sausage Fest made any. In fact, I think it brought the unison together. I can attest because, a lot of kids that go to McQuaid now don't feel the same level of camaraderie that we used to when we were younger. And I say that because I have a few friends. Hey, how to experience that. But I love this. It's Simba Society. It's still really good. Football games, you can't miss a football game. Spirit Week is a lot of fun. It's still a really, really good academic school. Diversity could be a little bit higher, 10 to 1 student ratio. We look there. In terms of so close to Brighton, depending on the difference of what you're looking at. Yep, you've got this one here. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of activities to do. Brighton, that's where you're living. So that's that. In terms of ratings, and this is something I do want to look at. I would strongly recommend McQuaid. I have been a student there since 6th grade and currently a junior. From sports to Section 5s, it's a really good place. First and foremost, education is great. I'm not reading all this. But through workshops, seminars, mentorships, there's a lot of things. McQuaid's a great prep. The campus is decent, although not as new as other places. The college application process, experience with it, they know what they're doing. So that's that. With that being said, let's look at the second highest private school in all. We got Allendale, that's A+ in niche.com, 6-to-1 teacher ratio, $25. So obviously expensive for places, but 6-to-1 student to teacher ratio, $45,000. 57% are receiving financial aid. It's ranked as the 57th best private K-12 school in all of Rochester. All of New York. 92nd, so, these numbers are definitely very interesting. 100% graduation rate, 1270 SATs, 28 ACTs is still very, very high compared to national averages. Blue White Day, strawberry breakfast, I don't know what any of these things mean. I didn't go to school there. But schools, students feel like they're students. A lot of diversity. Here. Preschool starting age, I don't know what this number is. Student ratio, Allendale in terms of location, you've got Brighton here, you've got Harley here. So in terms of location, I think you guys are seeing the trend here. This is the spot to be. If you want to have kids going to school, but again, we've done videos on Brighton, and I'll send that video. Place to be. Clubs and activities, very, very high. A lot of things to do. Monroe County as a whole. Yeah. I would challenge a few of these things. The cost of living should be higher. It should be like B+. Housing should be higher. Good for families, maybe certain locations, definitely. But I would think a lot of school areas, median value, the second, that is true if you're looking at the inner city, because tend to that because those they're not very high. In terms of price point, with ratings, right? So you've got 12 terribles, which next time, if you want me to, I will make an account with Niche just so I can look at all the terrible ratings. I gotta make sure I gotta talk to my legal team about that. I can't do actually that, but if you want me to, I'll make that video. Just let me know in the comments below. But we're a licensed real estate agent, so we have a lot of interesting rules and regulations that we get to follow. All right. The last school that we have here, it's going to be Pittsford-Sutherland. Pittsford-Sutherland is a really good school. As we open up with my account here, 898 students, 11-to-1 teacher-to-student ratio, 99% of students are proficient in math, A+ overall niche rating, 51 out of 1,400 schools that had for athletics, 59 out of best college preps, 48 of best public schools in all of New York, 95% are proficient, 1330 SAT score, 19. I want to say this. For people that respond with their SAT score, they tend to get pretty high SAT scores. Okay, I just want to preface that. I'm not, and I didn't, but if I was someone that got, let's say, an 850 or a 900 on my SAT score, I'm not going to niche.com and putting in 900. That's just not happening. No shot. So people that are putting in the SAT scores here are, number one, it has to be an ego component, right? People are doing that because, oh my gosh, I got a 1360. So when you look at this data, understand that the people that are putting on it have some reason for putting on it. Number two, please understand, a school is more than just a place where people are learning and getting SAT score. You have to make sure that the children are holistically growing with education, sports, recreation, community, and collaboration. If you don't have all of these things, it doesn't make any sense to take the kids there. Because, well, I don't personally, when I have children, the last thing that I want them to be is simply just book smart. I want them to have life experience. I want them to say please and thank you to the waiters in restaurants. I want them to be working out. I want them to be doing these things that make them very, well, I guess, good people. So make sure the students are learning those things at the schools. And there's a reason that all of these places are ranked so high because, well, they teach all those things. Right, that's another rant. But in terms of location, it's right here. You got, I think at this point we know where everything is, but like Brighton is here. You got Cobb's Hill, which is a place that a lot of people go and run. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Bucklands Park here. You got McQuaid Jesuit here. Brighton High School here. 12 Corners there. Harley here. Allendale here. Homes for sale in the area. I think this is what's going the price point. Like, look at it, right? Like, in terms of location, you're $900,000 and $86,000. There's just no shot. I would look more towards this. These are more feasible, and this is probably the more realistic price point here. But A+ rating, median home value is $300,000. Yep, that's more feasible. But 96% of students feel like they're safe. Prom, they're excited about. Rainbow Classics, basketball games. They're good basketball games. We used to have a lot of fun there. 11 to 1 teacher ratio is really high. Let's look at these because this is the first time that I simply just saw it. My experience in Pittsford Sutherland has overall been quite enjoyable. Many opportunities in clubs. I had a pretty bittersweet experience. Although most of my peers are nice and Although most of my peers are nice, teachers are the most petty, unfair people you've ever meet. I had a teacher not put me in honors English 10 because my grade was a 1, not a 5. That happens often. I quit band junior year because I didn't feel challenged. I had other classes I wanted to focus on. The band teacher got angry, went behind my back the next day. The whole class I was failing the school, destroying my reputation. I didn't get into national honor society because my GPA was 3.9. The minimum GPA was 3.5. The counselors are no help either. They backed the teachers up. A push was horrible. I didn't teach time to reteach myself the subject. The worst part is the teachers are required by the students to get 50 instead of zeros for work that isn't turned in. Why? Because their school has a good reputation and zeros bring students' GPA down. Okay, sure. There's a lot of things that's written. Because my grade was a 91 and not 95. That happens. I mean, yeah, but like, it's a 95. Like, I don't know what you expect me to do, kind of thing. The band teacher, yeah, that's definitely terrible, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. This national honors thing was pretty terrible. I'm sorry you had to go through that as well. A-Push is also a college level class. Just giving you a heads up. A-Push is a college level class, so maybe there was some, I guess, structural issues, but that's going to be a hard class realistically. And as for the 50s instead of zeros, I completely agree with this. It's sort of a national thing, which is kind of terrible. Kind of feels like participation trophies to me personally, but I do understand this. I can understand the seriousness of the situation. 100%. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, you're seeing the ratings here, you're seeing the numbers. And that's really, truth be told, that's really all I got. We looked at homes, we looked at schools, we looked at the location. So if Brighton is interesting to you guys, because all of these are in Brighton, if Brighton is interesting to you guys, would love the opportunity to help you collaborate, find homes, and really give any informational pieces that we can. I want to preface everything that I'm saying by, this is not my opinion. I gave my opinion about certain things, and that's because I feel like I can, and if you value my opinion, if you like my opinion, great. I think you agree with it. If you think I'm an idiot, which absolutely most people do, then yeah, you might not be the best fit. But again, I'm not going to try it. With that being said, all the data that we found was according. So in the comment section, if you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, these schools are terrible, or this school is great, or this school should be higher. Guys, I'm refurbishing the information. So yeah, you put that what you want to take with that. With that being said, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you spending your time with me. If I can help you with real estate, I can help you with any questions that you have about neighborhoods, your house. If I can just be a friend to you, please let me know. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Dan. See you in the next video. for them.